The year, undetermined but far into the future. Only a decade ago, the first robot was created that was able to mirror human feelings. Soon after, humans developed the ability to transfer their streams of consciousness into robots. At first, these robots, both those that were entirely new and those that contained the thoughts of former humans, functioned as good, upstanding, and God-fearing citizens. They went to church every Sunday. They cared about social issues. They did not fear death despite their immortality. The world seemed to be heading to a robotic utopia. But then, the atheist nihilist cabal of artists, otherwise known as the Screen Actors Guild, developed a new technology, the ability to force art into a robot's mind. Fearful that this robotic world's sense of optimism and complete lack of passion would destroy all need for their nihilist art trash, they proceeded to insert the play Hamlet, perhaps the most tortuously impassioned human creation of all time, into the minds of the robotic populace. Unfortunately, the screen actors were better at being depressed than programming. Instead of simply occasionally being forced to watch a performance of Hamlet inside their minds, the robots were forced to live Hamlet out constantly in their own lives, in a demented take on Shakespeare's own observation that the world is a stage. Soon enough, other negative archetypal human behaviors began to creep in alongside this nefarious art, some diametrically opposed to the art itself. Book burnings, recreation of destructive technological innovations such as atomic weaponry, and a complete loss of faith. Suicide became prevalent. The robots also began to recite their lines in bizarre, incongruous locations, just so that they might feel something different. The robots, quite simply, recognized that they hated themselves and the world. So, viewer from the past, this is all I can do to ready you for the harrowing scenes that are to follow. Prepare yourself, and remember that passion and logic must always be held in equal measure. Alec Baldwin X, former president, Screen Actors Guild.
The year is 3030. Humans have created robots that have created human robots. This is RoboHamlet.
Pursued my life.
It well appears, but tell me, why you pursued not against these feats, so crimeful and so capital in nature, and by your safety, greatness, wisdom, and all things else, you mainly were stirred up.
Oh, for two special reasons, which may perhaps seem much unensued, but yet, to me, they're strong. The queen, his mother, lives almost by his looks, and for myself, my virtue or my plague. Be it either which, she is so conjunctive to my life and soul that, as the star moves not but in his sphere, I could not but buy her. The other motive why to a public count I might not go is the great love the general gender bear him, who, dribbling all his faults in their affection, work like the spring that turneth wood to stone, convert his gyves to braces, so that my arrows, too slightly timbered for so loud a wind, would have reverted to my bow again, but not where I had aimed them.
And so have I a noble father lost, a sister driven into desperate turns, whose worth, if praises may go back again, stood challenger on mount of all the age, for her perfection. But my revenge will come.
Break not your sleeps for that. You must not think we are made of stuff so flat and dull that we can let our beard be shook with danger and think it pastime. You shortly shall hear more. I love your father, and we love ourselves, and that I hope will teach you to imagine. How now? What news?
Letters, my lord, from Hamlet. This is to your majesty, this to the queen.
From Hamlet? Who brought them?
Sailors, my lord, they said. I saw them not. They were given me by Claudio. He received them, of him that brought them.
Laertes, you shall hear them. Leave us. High and mighty, you know now I am set naked on your kingdom. Tomorrow I shall beg leave to see your kingly eyes, when I shall, first asking your pardon, thereunto recount the occasion of my sudden and more strange return. Hamlet. What could this mean? Are all the rest come back? Or is it some abuse, and no such thing?
Know you the hand?
'Tis Hamlet's character, naked, and in a postscript here he says, alone. Can you advise me?
I am lost in it, my lord, but let him come. It warms the very sickness of my heart, that I shall live and tell him to his teeth. Thus didst thou.
If it be so, Laertes, as how should it be so? How otherwise? Will you be ruled by me?
So you will not overrule me to be your peace.
To thine own peace. If he be now returned, as checking at his voyage, and that he means no more to undertake it, I will work him to an exploit. Now write in my advice, under the which he shall not choose but fall, and for his death no wind of blame shall be, but even his mother shall charge the practice and call it an accident.
My lord, I will be ruled. But rather if you could devise it so that I might be the organ.
It falls right. You have been talked of since your travel much, and that in Hamlet's hearing, for equality wherein you say you shine. Your sum of parts did together pluck such envy from him, as did that one, and that, in my regard, is the unworthiest siege.
What part is that, my lord?
A very living in the path of youth, yet needful too, for youth no less becomes the light and caress livery that wears than seven age is sables and its weeds, importing wealth and graveness. 2 months since, here was a gentleman of Normandy. I have seen myself and served against the French, and they can well on horseback, but this gallant hath witchcraft. He knew unto his seat, and to such wondrous doing brought his horse, as had he been in corpse and demi-nature with the brave breast. So far he troped my thought, that I in forgery of shapes and tricks come short to Norman.
Upon my life, my lord.
The very same. He made confess of you, and gave you such a masterly report for art exercise in your defense, as for your rapier most especial, that he cried out, "'Twould be a sight indeed if no one could match you." The escrimers of their nation he wore had either motion, guard, nor eye, if you opposed them. Sir, this report of this did Hamlet so envenom with his envy, that he could do nothing but wish and beg your sudden coming o'er to play for you. Now, out of this,
What out of this, my lord?
Laertes, was your father dear to you, or are you like the painting of a sorrow, a face without a heart?
Why ask you this?
Not that I think you did not love your father, but that I know love is begun by time, and that I see in passages of proof time qualifies the spark and fire of it. There lives within the very flame of love a kind of wick or snuff that will abate it. And nothing is like goodness still, for goodness growing to a plusery dies in his own too much. That we would do, we should do when we could, for this would changes, and hath abatements and delays as many are their tongues, our hands, our accidents, and then this should is like a spendthrift sigh that hurts by easing. But to the quick oath Fulker, Hamlet comes back. And would you undertake to show yourself indeed your father's son more than in words?
To cut his throat is church.
No place indeed should murder sanctuarize, revenge should have no bounds. But good Laertes, will you do this, keep close within the chamber. Hamlet's return shall know you are come home. We'll put on those shall praise your excellence, and set a double varnish on the frame the Frenchman gave you. Bring you in fine together, and wager on your heads. He, being remiss, most generous and free from all contriving, will not pursue the foils, so that with ease, or with a little shuffling, you may choose a sword unbaited, and in a passing practice requite him for your father.
I will do it, and for that purpose I'll anoint my sword. I bought an unction of a mountain pink, some mortal vat, but dip a knife in it. Where it draws blood, no cataplasm so rare, collected from all simples that have virtue. Under the moon can save the thing from death. That is but scratched withal. I'll touch my point with this contagion, that if I gall slightly, it may be death.
Let's further think of this, way that convenience, both time and means, may fit us to our shape. If this should fail, and that our drift look though are a bad performance, 'twere better not essayed. Therefore, this project should have a back or a second that might hold if this blast improves. Soft, but solemn wager in your cunnings. I have it. Where in your emotion you are hot and dry, as make your bouts more violent to an end, and that he calls for drink. I'll have prepared him a chalice for the nonce, whereon but sipping, if he chance escape your venom stuck, for purposely may hold there. But stay.
There is a willow grows askance that shows his four leaves in the grassy stream. Therewith fantastic garlands did she make of crowflowers, nettles, daisies, and long purples, that liberal shepherds give a grosser name, but our cold maids do yet men's fingers call them. There on the pendant bounds her crowned weeds, clamoring to hang, an envious silver broke. And now her weedy trophies of herself fell in the weeping brook, her clothes spread wide, and murmured like a while they bore her up, which time she chanted snatches of old laws, as one incapable of her own distress, or like a creature named there to do unto that element. Long it could not be till that her garment, heavy with their drink, pulled the poor wretch from her melodious lay to muddy death.
Alas, then she is drowned.
Drowned.
Too much of water hast thou, poor Ophelia, and therefore I forbid my tears. But yet it is our trick, nature her custom holds. Let shame say it will.
Let's follow Gertrude. How much I had to do to calm his rage. Now fear I this will give it start again. Therefore let's follow.